Welcome to Myth Makers, a mini-series about money making here on the channel. It's gonna be an experimental thing. So essentially, as you can see, there's a gear thing on screen, which is the gear I picked that I will be earning through this series. Obviously, it's nothing amazing or anything like that. I specifically picked like a more low-level, early mid-level setup, melee setup in this case. Nothing here requires above level 40 to be wielded, I hope. And on top of that, I also made it so there's no quests or untradeable items or anything like that are required, mainly because it's a money-making series, so yeah, I kinda just want to earn the GP and everything. So yeah, I tried to make a combination of expensive items, but also items that actually work as a setup. So if I were to actually use this to train my melee stats, for example, this would actually work because it's a decent setup. It's not the best, but hey. So obviously there's some restrictions for this series, because otherwise at my level it would be a bit too easy to earn this setup. So first of all, there's no money making methods that can be used on different episodes. I only recorded like 2 or 3 episodes, I think, I don't know yet. So there's, I won't be able to use the same money making method more than once per episode. And the second restriction, and this is by far the most interesting one, I think, I can't use any methods that require levels that are above level 40. So any methods that I can make money out of that require less than level 40 in a stat, I can do it. Anything more, I can't. So let's get into it. So I actually have no idea how this series will actually end up turning out. Interestingly though, I always would go on YouTube and like sort of see, a lot of money making methods and stuff like that that were like supposed to be really good and whatnot. And I kinda just wanted to do the opposite and just, make a series where, yeah, it's mostly about low level money making methods. So I'm gonna start by doing, obviously I have the, can't buy items that are over 100 GP in value from the G. Post-editing Silo here, I actually ended up taking off this restriction, and as a result replaced some of the items with more expensive items. So at first I was going for a Amulet of Glory, for example, and I replaced that with a Fury and Berserk Ring and etc. Purely because this didn't exactly make the series much fun, so I just replaced it. So ignore every time I say this. So that's gonna restrict a lot of the stuff that I can do, and the fact that I've kept the skills essentially to 40 while I'm doing this on my main account, and as you can see I have pretty high stats. I'm actually not gonna be doing any higher level money making methods or anything like that. So yeah, but I'm gonna essentially just try and, keep it to low-level money-making methods, because I think that's kind of interesting, I think that a lot of players, especially when you struggle the most making GP, is when you are low-level. I think that when you are high-level, you just go kill some boss or go do Slayer and you just make a bunch of GP. So I'm just picking up some stuff here in Lumbridge Castle because I need some GP to sort of start. I'm also not gonna be obviously using my POH and stuff like that, otherwise, again, it would be kind of a bit too easy to a point to make GP, and yeah, I'm not about that life. But I think there's actually a lot of good money making methods that are low level that I think that a lot of people oftentimes overlook. So I'm gonna try and explore some of them. I'm gonna just, because ultimately what I want people to learn with this series is mostly that, honestly, the way you make GP in RuneScape is just by playing the game. The more you play, the more you just essentially accumulate shit, and yeah, that's essentially what's gonna happen. So yeah. Okay, so I think everything we have can be sold for a nice amount of GP. Yes, 100 GP. I don't need much more than this. So I'm gonna go to the G and just sell it real quick. Okay, here we are at the G. So we're gonna just sell some more items. Hopefully we get some nice amount of GP. Hopefully they sell for mid, that would be great. Okay, so everything's sold and we actually got 800 GP, and now the first thing I'm actually gonna get is an adamant axe, because we're gonna be doing some wood cutting, since that is gonna be quite a nice amount of profit for us to finally get some GP in our account. Now, I already have my forestry kit, and obviously I have 99 with cutting, so it's not gonna be like a one-to-one comparison to your account. I just gonna be fucked to create a new account, I'm gonna be completely honest. But yeah, I have my forestry kit already. It's completely free though, so yeah, now that we have our Eddy axe, we're actually gonna go to Drainer and just cut some trees. Okay, we have finally arrived and we are at the world, the forestry world, and if you need a forestry kit you just come here, it's free, so you just buy it. I don't need it anymore, but you know. But now that we're here, we're actually not gonna do willow trees, we're gonna do oak trees. For two main reasons. Number one, well, oak trees only require level 15 with carrying as opposed to 30, and secondly, oak logs actually cost more than willow logs, a difference of like 15 GP, but still, you know, oak logs are easier to get and faster to get because you have a lower level. So we're just gonna get there some oak logs to give us some initial GP. Also, I do recommend doing this in a forestry world, because while you don't see anyone, that's because I have the identity or entity either plugin, so otherwise it's too much lag. But yeah, because with getting with other people nowadays gives you a boost, so you know, that's sort of what you want. And that's already our first inventory. Obviously, you know, for you would probably be a bit slower because I have 99 with carrying against. But yeah, that's 1.3k. It might not seem like a lot, but then if we also view this, we have 7 oak leaves, and these also there's some GP. I don't know how much GP exactly they are, but yeah, given how fast that is, if you do that for like an hour or something like that, yeah, that's gonna give us some base GP, because I want to try some other money making methods that actually require some GP, and hey, with forestry this is like really good to get nowadays. Okay, so I gathered 500 logs, as you can see, that we're going to sell. We're gonna live in Myth, maybe? Yes, 25k to our name, and furthermore, I don't need the X anymore, but furthermore, we can actually view this, and there we go, an extra 141 oak leaves, which we can also sell for a nice amount of profit. It's an extra 3.8k. Hey, everything is GP. I also don't need this anymore, so you can sell it. Thank you. So now I essentially have 30k to my name. I should have 30k because I have... Yes, let's go. So I have 30k. So what I'm gonna do with this, we're actually gonna buy flax. There we go. We're gonna buy like 10k. Exactly. And thank you. And well, we're gonna spin it. Pretty obvious there. Oh, I actually have... Yeah, okay, it's there. So I'm actually gonna go back to Lumbridge, so I can use the spinning wheel at Lumbridge, which is one of the closest when you don't really have anything unlocked. And on top of that, spinning flax only requires level 10 crafting, so it's actually incredibly low level, and the best part is both strings actually cost over 100 GP each. So essentially you're making over 100 GP per string, and on top of that you're gaining crafting XP, and on top of that only requires 10 crafting. So, oh, and it's also incredibly AFK. Can you go up, please? There we go. So we just go here to our bank. We withdraw the flax. We ran down. And we go to the spinning wheel. And then one here, bowstring, and there we go. And that costs, as you can see, 123 GP each, so we're making 120 GP on each bowstring. It's AFK, you get 15 crafting XP, and you only require level 10. So that's what I'm gonna be doing with all of the flax we just bought, and that should net us a pretty decent amount of GP, all things considered. And we're pretty much finished with it. We just have an extra 4, and as you can see, I'm 3 hours and a half into this. In reality, I'm actually like, I already got 6-hour logs, so I'm actually like almost 10 hours into this. So yes, it took us like almost 10 hours to spin 10k flax, which it's a lot, but I would wager it's actually pretty good. It's gonna be well worth it, and I'm gonna show you later on how much I made. So yeah, we have 10,000 flax, let's actually sell it. Also, if you are low level, instead of just going through there and face the dark wizards... Why am I lagging? It's almost 3 fucking AM, why is it like... Oh, fuck me, anyway. Instead of like going there and facing the wizards, you can actually just take this path and actually go around, so you never actually are threatened by the wizards. So as you can see, this a low game. Why am I lagging so much? It's 3 AM? Oh yeah, just random oh, fuck me. Anyway, as you can see, you just pass through the wizards. The wizards never are a problem, they never attack you, so if you're a low level, you can use that path. But yeah, I'm just massively lagging and I'm snapping everywhere. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So we have arrived, and while it did take us like almost 10 hours of work, we pretty much turned, how much was it? 30k into 1.1 mil pretty much, probably even more, but let's see if it insta-sells. Yeah, it insta-sold 1.18. So yeah, we pretty much got 1.150, so 1 mil, 150k profit just like that. It took us a while to do, but hey, it was well worth it. And again, just you know, where is it spinning? Flax into bowstrings, level 10. That's all you need, level 10. Again, like, it's not the best GP per hour. I mean, I was getting like what, 100k GP per hour. Again, it's nothing amazing, but for needing level 10 crafting is not all that bad. I can also show you the XP we actually earned in all of this. So yeah, we have the woodcutting XP, 20k, but yeah, 150k crafting XP right there. So not bad. If you do this from level 10, we are looking at, you know, 150k. That's a good few levels. That's into like what, the 30s, maybe 40s. I don't know, because I have kind of high levels. Anyway, now that we have all of the GP, we actually can buy some goodies. So in this episode, because it's the first one and whatnot, I decided to go for the cheapest ones, and then we can tackle, you know, the more expensive ones in later episodes. So first of all, I'm gonna be buying myself an Holy Blessing, which is the most expensive item for our arrow slot, unless you buy bolts or arrows or whatever, but for a melee setup that's not really useful, so that's one down. Secondly, I want to buy myself a rune chain body, which actually is only slightly worse than a rune plate body, and on top of that, you don't need Dragon Slayer completed to equip it. You only need level 40 defense. So we have our body slot, and next up I would like to buy Ceridomin plate legs, which is essentially the equivalent to yeah, a bit more expensive, you know. I went through some. Is it really not buying? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do. Yeah, right, I'm gonna put it at 65k, and I'm gonna let it buy slowly, because, yeah. And then I will also buy a Ceridomin Kite Shield. So these are basically the rune variants, but they have like one prayer bonus, so the rune variants don't actually have a prayer bonus. I'm just gonna leave them there, but yeah, we still have 1 million GP, and we can buy another item. So you know, since we're already talking about rune god items, let's actually buy a Zamorak Full Helm. There we go. This one's a tiny bit more expensive, you know, and it's not buy. Okay, I'm just gonna leave them in a G. They will eventually buy. Okay, and actually our Ceridomin Kite Shield just bought, so I guess that's another extra item. In the future, obviously, you know, some of these items are a bit cheap, like the rune shade body and whatnot. Basically, I imposed myself the restriction when it came to the setup of limited 40 stats. Obviously, I have higher, but still. And for a level 40 melee setup, I sort of went a, you know, midway of also not allowing untradables, so I can go for the torso or whatever. And even then, I think the torso requires level 45 defense, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, I went for a, you know, decent-ish setup, melee setup, that I also tried to go for it being a bit expensive. It's not the most expensive, because obviously I'm limited in terms of money makers that I can make by a level and by GP. But yeah, from this episode onwards, now that we bought the cheapest items, every episode from now on is going to require us to do a little bit of stuff, and as I mentioned, well, there's 3 money makers that are out of the table, getting oak logs, spinning flax, and just picking up items in Lumbridge specifically, especially knives, leather boots, and bronze pickaxe, I think, and cabbages. I think those are the items that I picked up. So those are not available in the future episodes, but yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and we have an extra 260k to go for the next one.